Hey, Mama. So I decided to do something a little different on the podcast. Going forward, Thursdays are going to be our CEO Mama Confessions Day. This is where we are going to be talking about the raw, real, and vulnerable side of running a business as a mama of young children. There is so much noise in the online space, and honestly, it can be overwhelming trying to sift through and find what is right for you. So, ideally, these episodes will be on the shorter side while diving into the challenges we face as mompreneurs, and we'll leave you with an actionable tip for you to implement at the end of each episode. All right, let's dive into our first CEO Mama confession. Hey, Mama, are you tired of feeling stressed and overwhelmed trying to grow your online business with your babies at home? You desire more flexibility in your day, allowing you to pour into your family, yourself, and your business without running yourself into the ground. Mama, you can build your dream business and do it in a way that fits your current season of life. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Welcome to the Mama Turned Mompreneur podcast. I'm your host, Andria Singletary, daughter of the king, wife, mama of two, and life and business coach for mompreneurs. On this podcast, you will learn business strategies made for mamas just like you, who desire to be successful CEOs and fully present mamas without stress or overwhelm. So whether you're an entrepreneur who transitioned to a mompreneur or a mama turned mompreneur, I am here to support you. So grab your coffee, notebook, and pen, put in those earbuds, and let's dig in. These are my confessions. All right, Mama, raise your hand if you are part of the Recovering People Pleasers Club. Me too, Mama. Me too. Many of us grew up in homes where we were raised to be people pleasers. The thing is that with being a people pleaser, it can spill into other areas of our lives, like our businesses. And so if you are a recovering people pleaser, setting boundaries with clients probably makes you super anxious and you may avoid it altogether, even though it is impacting you. So like I said, I am a recovering people pleaser. And so when I first started my business, I was a certified people pleaser. I went into business with the mindset that my clients were my boss. Crazy, right? Now, I didn't say that outright, but my actions communicated that. My clients literally dictated my schedule and had pretty much 24/7 access to me. Some of them even had my personal number, and my boundaries were nowhere to be found. They were non-existent. And so this looked like, one of my clients requiring weekly meetings, even though that was not part of our agreement. This looked like another client becoming upset when I decided to change my availability after transitioning to a mom of two. And so I didn't really understand, what it meant to be the CEO of my business. I pretty much operated as I did when I worked a 9 to 5. And the thing is that, none of us start our businesses to be treated like we did in a 9 to 5. And this isn't to say you had a horrible 9 to 5 experience, but you started your business so you could be your own boss. We started these businesses to give us the flexibility and the freedom we desire to be the stay-at-home moms that we want to be. So for me, I had that light bulb moment when I was barely 3 weeks postpartum, so after having my daughter, and I made the decision to make Tuesdays and Thursdays my day off. And that client I just mentioned, she became very upset. She literally had an attitude with me and essentially gave me the cold shoulder, making our work relationship very challenging. And so in that moment, I had an epiphany and it dawned on me that I didn't have to renew my contract with her if I didn't want to. It also dawned on me that I get to choose who I work with, and if who I'm working with is causing me unnecessary stress and discomfort, I get to decide to let them go as a client. So maybe you're currently in a situation like this. You have a client that is not, following your agreement or is causing you so much stress and anxiety that maybe it has you even questioning whether or not you should be a business owner. Mama, I want you to know you don't have to hold on to that client. It is scary letting a client go. And I get it. I get it. It is a very scary thing because letting that client go, if you don't have another one lined up, you're going to see a dip in your income. But I want you to know that when you let go of those clients that are causing you undue stress, that aren't, sticking to the agreement, that aren't respecting you as the CEO of your business, you make room for more aligned clients. And so for me, when I let go of that client who was causing me unnecessary stress, I signed a new client within a few weeks of letting her go. And this new client paid me double compared to what that other client was paying me. But if I hadn't let that client go, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. So, the key to confidently setting boundaries with clients is removing emotion from it. You have to take the emotion out of it. You and your client are two CEOs working together. So, at the end of the day, it is business, and your business is not a game to be played with. You aren't doing this for kicks and giggles. If you wanted that type of stress, you would be at a 9 to 5 right now, but you're not. You're running your own business. And so this is one of the biggest mindset shifts we work on in Life and Seasons coaching. It's going to be hard setting boundaries with clients. We want to make sure that our clients are satisfied, that they're happy with us. And if you are a recovering people pleaser, confrontation and enforcing boundaries most likely gives you anxiety, most likely stress you out. But if you want to run your business on your terms and do it without burnout, do it without feeling that stress and anxiety, you have to set boundaries with your clients. So, if you are ready to step into your CEO era as a mompreneur, and if you're listening to this episode, I know you are, here are some ways you can start setting boundaries with your clients. So, one, requiring they pay their invoice before starting the work. No more doing the work and then sending the invoice afterwards. That is not what we're doing as CEO mamas. Next, requiring they submit any assets you need from them by the agreed upon time in order to prevent the project from being pushed back. Now, if they don't get those assets to you, and this needs to be in your agreement, then you need to be able to, one, refer them back to that agreement and tell them, unfortunately, because they did not submit what you needed in time, the project is going to be pushed back. Now, I've had to do this in my business, and overall, my clients responded well because they were like, you know what, I didn't adhere to the agreement. And going forward, it wasn't an issue. They either got what was needed to me on time, or they were like, you know what, Andria, I didn't get you what you needed. I know it's going to be pushed back. I didn't even have to tell them anything. But because that first time it happened, I set those boundaries and I enforced those boundaries. It wasn't a huge issue going forward. And then, speaking of an agreement, you need to have an ironclad contract that you refer your clients back to. So anytime they're trying to step outside of that contract, you refer them back to it. But that means you need to have a good contract. Now, I am going to link one of the places that I like to get my contracts from. It's Sprout Law. I cannot think of the owner's name, but she is a lawyer and she has some amazing contracts that are reasonable. So I will link that below so you can check them out. I've been able to use one of her contracts, and it's very straightforward language, but it also makes sure to cover you as the business owner. It's really well written. It's probably like her contracts are probably one of my favorites because a lot of the other contracts, especially, if you're searching for free ones online, they aren't the best, but this is a really good one. Okay, the next thing you can do is recognize when a client isn't a good fit and having the confidence to let them go. I know it's scary. I know you're probably worried about your income and even just having that conversation. but I promise you it is going to benefit you in the long run. You do not want to continue holding on to a client that is clearly not a good fit. And then the last thing is having set business hours, communicating those business hours. So having them in your contract, having them in your welcome packet, and then communicating also those expectations to your clients as far as like when you're going to be communicating with them, when you will be responding to, their messages, whether it's Vox or whether it's email. So having those set times and letting your clients know what they are. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is an area I'm still working on myself. I absolutely love my one-on-one coaching clients. And so sometimes they will message me after hours, and it's not like they're expecting me to respond, but I just love talking to them. And so at times I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to respond to this really quick. So I am working on that. I'm really trying to be better about it. I have gotten better with like not responding on the weekends, but during the week when it's after hours, I have to work on that. So I'm working on that too. But these are just a few of the ways you can get started with setting boundaries with clients. Remember, you are the CEO of your business. You get to decide how your business is ran. So your action item for today is to currently reflect on your relationships with your clients. Are you actively setting boundaries with your clients? Are you holding your clients accountable to your agreement? Are you feeling burnt out or even resentful towards any of your clients? Reflect on these things. Go and journal them. And then look at what changes you need to make with your clients going forward. Now, if you are looking for individualized support with setting and enforcing boundaries with your clients so you can confidently step into your role as the CEO of your business, I currently have one spot available in Life and Seasons coaching. So if you want to check it out, learn more about Life and Seasons coaching and grab that last spot, head on over to mamaturnmompreneur.com/coaching to learn more. This will also be linked below in the episode description and in the show notes. All right, Mama, I will catch you in the next CEO Mama Confessions. Well, Mama, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hang with me. If you enjoyed today's episode, will you do me a favor and follow the podcast and leave a review? Hitting that follow button and sharing your thoughts about the podcast are the best ways to ensure that other mamas like you find this show. Your review also lets me know if you're enjoying this podcast, so make sure to share your thoughts before you go. All right, Mama, I'll catch you in the next episode.